Okay, so it seems that there's been a little bit of an update to the whole Onkey Expo situation. Now, if you guys don't know, a lot of people have been talking about this convention as they were recently dropped by a couple of VTubers and VTuber agencies and groups and companies and whatever, and they've been getting dropped by even more. Now, obviously, we talked about some of the reasons yesterday, but it seems that there's a couple of more reasons which we actually missed in the last video, which I think definitely, adds on to this entire situation, right? So, of course, the first post that we covered was with Socks Agency. They essentially put out a little notice. Obviously, that's the yellow one. So, yeah, Socks Agency said that they had terminated their sponsorship agreement with Onkey Expo and were no longer affiliated with the event. Neither Socks Agency nor staff will be attending Onkey in any capacity. And they essentially said that, they clarified exactly why this was the case because they didn't include it in the notice originally. Now, we did speculate that this was due to AI, and there was a company within there that was using AI and whatever pretty openly. But apparently this is not the case. They say to clear up speculation, we approached Onkey a month ago with items that need to be addressed to ensure a safe and functional convention. We gave them ample time to show us they are prepared to host an event with proper security, labor, and event management, and we were not confident they would be able to secure these key measures before it was critically necessary with what was provided. Our primary concern is always safety when sponsoring or participating in an event. To anyone deciding to go to Onkey, we hope you have fun and safe time. However, we will not be attending as these answers did not measure to our standards. So, yeah, essentially what they're kind of saying there is like, hey, they weren't convinced that, they could keep their talent safe or whatever. They weren't convinced that they were prepared to host an event. So obviously, it's almost like kind of they felt like they were almost maybe not unprofessional. I don't know what the word would be. Not unprofessional, but like just unequipped, right, to maybe run this event or whatever. Which could be the case, right? Obviously, there's a lot of small conventions out there, so I'm not sure. But obviously, it's down to Socks and their own kind of measurements for this stuff. And as I said, it's a huge loss for Onkey Expo because they've got talent, for example, like Zentrea and stuff, who are so big. It would provide them with a big boost to their convention, right? But they've kind of lost out on that, right? So again, it is disappointing, but of course, that's just what Socks Agency wanted to do, right? But it seems like as well, there's been Mythos as well, who's come out with this, saying Mythos participation at Onkey Expo, saying due to recent events, Mythos has decided that we will no longer be participating at Onkey Expo. We are no longer affiliated with the questing panels or events. Neither Mythos talent nor staff will be attending Onkey in any official capacity. We wish them the best of luck with the convention. So, yeah, they have also dropped the convention, and I'm going to assume it's for a similar reason to Socks. Now, of course, there has been other people, though, that have been dropping it for different reasons. There's been many VTubers that I've seen talking about this and kind of going into it because essentially, yeah, although Socks have cleared up and said that their reasoning is because of, not being able to provide them with, like, proof, I guess, that they're able to host an event with proper security, labor, and event management. There has been VTubers, though, like Indie VTubers and whatever, independent VTubers, who have been kind of dropping out due to that AI thing that we talked about in the last video. There was a company apparently called like VCat or something that was using AI, and obviously some VTubers don't really want to associate with that, right? And they were going to be at the event, they were partnering with the event, they were going to be there. And of course, other VTubers didn't really want to be associated with that if they're going to associate with that, which again, as I said, you guys are all mixed whenever it comes to, different AI opinions or whatever. So yeah, all of you guys are going to be pretty mixed in the comments, whether that's a valid reason or not to attend. But I think it's fair enough considering that they have their own, beliefs and opinions on AI. And of course they can, leave it if they want to, or they can not leave it if they don't want to. So, yeah, that's just something important to kind of point out there. But yeah, I think for the main part, though, what people are mostly, interested in is the fact that there is this kind of convention, this convention like security concern, I guess. Now, again, I don't know if it's to do, they say it's to do with security, labor, and event management. So I'm unsure on whether this is just, like purely security, and whether they think that this is just like a thing where they don't believe the event is secure enough, or if it is just like literally everything all bundled into one. Because again, there has been some poorly run, VTuber conventions in total before, right? And we've covered many of those. For example, VTuber which ended up getting shut down and just never ended up happening because it was supposed to be a virtual convention, but it turns out they were kind of involved with a lot of like the crypto weird stuff as well, which obviously nobody was comfortable with, and all of the big talents ended up dropping out. So that's also a thing. But yeah, I mean, Onkey Expo, in terms of what they have said, yeah, this is supposed to be taking place on November 20th, so there's still quite a long time until it's supposed to be happening, right? But it seems like, yeah, these companies won't be working with them. Their last post was about about the Socks Agency notice. They haven't responded to any of the other posts or anything like that, and they haven't responded to the Mythos one either, of them not being a part of this. But again, it seems like that is going to be what happens now. Of course, as well, I think that I don't think many huge creators were going to this event. I mean, we can have a look at the website, I guess. This is the website. You can see there is guests. Okay, there is actually some big ones going. There's some voice actors and stuff too. So again, there is some decently sized creators going. But I do think they have lost out by missing out on stuff like Socks Agency and things. So again, hopefully things can get sorted out. If it's just like a misunderstanding or whatever, or maybe something that has been going on in terms of event management, I hope they can get that fixed so that people can attend, because I want conventions to do well. I don't want to say that this convention is like a horrible convention that doesn't deserve to whatever. No, of course not. I think there is definitely space for them to improve and potentially gain some more people. But I think that the concerns that Socks Agency and Mythos and everyone else have are definitely valid, right? Because if it's not being run correctly, well, of course you don't want your talents to attend it, right? So yeah, that's essentially what they have. They also have an After Dark fun here. Oh, okay. They have an 18 plus event afterwards as well, apparently, which I will not be showing on this video, else it will get taken down. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what Onkey have to say. We have to see if there's been any kind of updates to this, because it is interesting. There's a lot of people dropping out, a lot of people quickly, leaving at the same time. Now, I do think this is more so of a domino effect in the sense of like Socks Agency put out an announcement, someone else put out an announcement, and I think now people like Mythos and other companies are looking at this and going, oh wait, we're supposed to be working with them. And then maybe looked into their own kind of research and investigation on whether they should continue to, be with them as well, and maybe decided actually probably not for the best, and ended up putting out their announcement too. That's why I think they are so close together, because obviously a lot of people are very worried at the fact that like they're all dropping out like flies right at the moment, like everybody is gone. But I do think this is mainly because people are just seeing other VTuber agencies, noticing that there is some kind of issue in some way, and then looking it up themselves and then making an announcement, right? So yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for this situation. If you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.